Шановні колеги,
Dear colleagues, we finalize our working day with very important briefing, and we will discuss state support for condominium, implementing energy efficiency measures, achievements and perspectives, and I invite the speakers to the microphone. Good afternoon. I'm Tetyana Boiko, coordinator of housing and utilities programs, civil network OPORA. We initiated this briefing, and today we are discussing how condominium themselves assess the state energy efficiency program and support delivered to the condominium. On the framework of this program, we would like to discuss the achievements and the expectations of the condominium. Today, when we speak about private two-flat or one-flat house, it is very clear who has to modernize such a house. But the biggest sector which has the best perspective for energy efficiency raising is the residential, the housing sector. We can reach 50–60% of energy saving in general due to such energy efficiency of housing. Of course, in private houses, it's easier to do this. All the private owners have a clear opinion what to do and how to do to raise energy efficiency of the houses. But unfortunately, the bigger part of Ukrainians living in multi-storied buildings, which, by the way, are the majority of residential housing in the country, do not clearly understand that nobody will implement energy efficiency measures for their houses except the co-owners, and there are condominium which have to do this. As of today, we have a lot of discussion whether the co-owners of multi-storied building have a possibility to authorize some management company to manage their building, but as of today, only condominium is able to raise energy efficiency. As of today, only up to 15% of multi-storied buildings are condominium, and Ministry of the Regional Buildings states that this is 15,000 of condominium, or at least up to 17,500 condominium. This is a negligible part of our housing fund, housing stock in general. And that's why this state program on energy saving measures support is aimed at condominium. No other ownership companies of different ownership are not eligible to get this support. And having made this introduction, I would like to give the floor to the representative of the State Agency for Energy Efficiency.
Thank you, Tetyana. Good afternoon. I'm Maretskiy. I am the Deputy Director of the Department on Expert Analysis from the State Agency for Energy Efficiency. I will tell you about what are the stages of implementation of our state program. Our state program was used by many people. The sum of money which was repaid is 427 million hryvnias. From the beginning of the program, you see the dynamic. It's going up. The popularity of our program goes up. Also, we can say that 208 of the participants are these condominiums. The total amount is 17.5 million hryvnias. And in 2015-2016, the condominiums received the repayment for the amount of 5.5 million hryvnias. As to the measures for condominiums, you see what has been implemented, what's the total cost of the implemented measures. The most popular measures are replacement of windows, about 45%, thermal insulation, about 14%, and modernization of the system of lighting. Also, I can say that 11 IDPs were installed. If we look at the regional split, we will see that some of the regions are more interested, like Volynska, Lvivska, Kyiv, and the region, they are more interested than others, but the average indicator would be 0.73 million hryvnias. As to differentiation, you can also see the regional distribution as to number of loans issues, 9 credits, that's the average indicator, and that's talking about the number of loans issued to condominiums. Several examples, several cases. Let's take Volynsk region, condominium area, 148 apartments. They installed the recording equipment. The volume of credit, 280,000 hryvnias, repaid 112, compensated 112,000 hryvnias, you see. Before modernization, after modernization, another case, Volynska region, Yaver, 2011, 172 apartments. The volume of loan is 2.1 million hryvnias, repaid 653,000 hryvnias. Before modernization, after modernization, cost for heating. So that was reduced by 2.2 times. Rivne region, condominium Halitskoho 4, 144 apartments. Windows were replaced. The building was insulated. The cost for heating was reduced by 1.7 times. Odessa region, condominium Mriya, 91 apartments. They replaced the windows, modernized the lighting, and you see, before modernization, the consumption of thermal energy is 1,286 gigajoules, and after modernization, 897, so again, big saving. Zatishek condominium in the Ivano-Frankivsk region, They replaced windows and doors, and the costs before modernization was 17,730 cubic meters. After they consumed gas much less. Donetsk region, Marata, condominium, they just replaced the windows, but even that allowed them to save 15%. Nash Dim condominium in Poltava region, they saved 14%. Even the fact that they installed the recording equipment resulted in saving. Definitely, we understand if we implement the comprehensive measures, then we will save more. But the main issue is money. Which measures are short term, which are long term, which money the condominium has. That all depends on the situation, and every condominium makes a decision based on that. The heads of the condominium, they know better what their problems are, and they know better what they need as a priority, and they implement measures in according to our program. As to changes to legislation, we're again preparing changes to our legislation. First of all, we would like, again, that is what we want. These are the measures that we envisage to improve our resolution. We hope that this will be passed, but now this is just the prospect. We want to extend our state program for 2017-2018. We want to expand the list of banks which issue energy saving loans. We want to the mechanism of state support to cover also operators and ESCO. We have 85% of the houses which are not condominiums. We need to look for some ways how to involve them, to provide them with the opportunity to save, and also the mandatory accounting for thermal energy. You know that the loan commercial accounting has been discussed for a long time. There were 4 drafts of the law on commercial accounting. Now the latest version is in the parliament, because accounting will allow us to understand which condominium, which consumer consumes how much and how much they have to pay. Because today, unfortunately, most of the calculations are done according to the norms, and we do not know what's the saving consumption, and there's no saving, there's no incentive to save for some consumers. And also introducing the mandatory monitoring of efficiency of the program by selective monitoring. We have to see clearly what different measures give us. We have to see what are the factors and criteria. The program has been implemented for a year, and we understand where to move forward, how to move forward. This mandatory additional monitoring will allow us to expand our database and to see clear indicators. Also, I would like to mention that according to our monitoring, increase of the size of repayment for condominium per one apartment is not really something which is enough now. We were thinking whether 14,000 hryvnias are enough for one apartment. The biggest loan that Lutsk took from us, it hasn't been even close to this sum. If our condominium show the positive dynamic that the money that are repaid by the state program is not sufficient, then we will again start considering this issue. And I would like to also mention, most of you probably know, besides working on our state program, we are implementing the low. We are implementing 131 local programs of repayment of part of the amounts for which are to be paid for loans. We hope that we will manage to convince local authorities to also support, because we understand that the situation, the economic situation, and we understand that we do need support, and that is why we're trying to develop all our directions of work as efficiently as possible. Now the questions, all the speakers will make statements, and then we'll proceed with the Q&A session.
Would you please switch on my presentation? Good afternoon, dear colleagues. I would like to present to you results of the survey which we held among those participants of condominia which, as of today, had not participated in this program which we discussed today. We have disseminated more than 3,000 questionnaires, and actually many condominia participated in this survey. We tried to cover as many regions as possible throughout Ukraine. Also, we tried to cover condominia, all sorts of condominia, those who were created long ago and recently, and during the entire period of the condominia existence. Thus, we have 51 questionnaire which actually adequately represent the that 3,000 condomina which I reflected. Actually, the personal opinion of some specific directors of condominia sometimes they do not represent all the opinion of other. Actually, the sample included not just directors of OSBB, but heads, etc. As for geography, we had respondents from Dnipropetrovsk, Lviv, Kyiv, Ternopil, and 15 more small and big cities. As for the split along the years of establishment, we had 8 respondents from condominia created in 2015. Maybe this is not very representative figure, but it proves that the most proactive condominia, even created not long ago, quite recently, they nevertheless are well informed about this program, or even they are established with the purpose to participate in this program. Now we come to the outputs of our survey. one of the questions, why your condominium haven't participated in the state program. This was the open question. We did not limit the respondents. At the same time, we found out many similarities in the answers, and we can say that 14 respondents mentioned that it was difficult to convince the residents of the condominium. 10 respondents said that it was difficult to prove that the program is efficient. The conditions of crediting were extremely cumbersome. And also, respondents quite late were informed about the program. Quite often, heads of the condominium felt that it was too late. And 8 condominium were created just in 2015, so they did not have chances to participate in it. And some of them mentioned that there were no necessity to use those credit. In some condominium carried out energy efficiency measures on the framework of other programs, and some respondents represented brand new buildings where there were no necessity to carry out some energy efficiency measures. This chart shows vision of the respondents and intention of the heads of condominium to be involved in this energy efficiency program. And 31% proved that they would like to participate in the crediting for energy efficiency measures. And they just have some reservation. They wait either for changing of the procedure of getting a loan from the bank, or they hope to convince the residents one day. And another 29% said that they are mainly positive about taking loans from this in line with the state program. A small part of our survey was devoted to the efficiency of communication channels informing about this state program. In some previous slides, I showed that 10 respondents did not use the state program because they were not sure it was useful, or they were unable to convince the residents. I believe that good communication might improve the perception of the program and the frequency when condominium apply for the program. Mainly people get information from mass media, from internet publications, from social networks, from friends and relatives, from banking institutions, from Facebook book Житло site from the website of State Energy Efficiency Agency. Some residents mentioned that unfortunately the information came too late to apply for the loan. Also, we asked the respondents whether information about the state program is understandable and easily and could be easily found in mass media, and how it is, whether it is useful in convincing the condominium residents that it is useful to take loans for energy efficiency measures. And 33% explained that information was clear and understandable. 14% stated that information was accessible and well spread, but difficult to understand. Of 26% said that information was understandable but very poorly represented in open sources. And 18% said that the information was difficult to understand and what it was fully represented in public mass media. We tried to understand what could be done in improving that communication. And that's why we asked the question how the communication could be improved and how people could be better convinced. And 37 respondents answered that 37% of respondents answered that information about success stories would be very useful, especially clearly stating the efficiency impact. More than one half also suggest that more specific and complete information should be posted in internet. At the same time, it should be more accessible for people. Some respondents also wanted to have more information in other mass media except internet, and 15 condominium believed that the information should be fuller and more clear. And this slide reflects those measures offered by the state program, which are of the big importance, of the biggest use by condominia. This is thermal insulation of the external walls, wallets, roofs, foundations, etc. Also, assembling the heating regulations, also modernization of lighting system, and the automatic switchers for lamps in the corridors. Also, we tried to compare already implemented measures against the expectations of the residents. So the biggest expenses were lighting system modernization of meters, water meters, hot water meters, heating meters, etc.
Учебник.
We
13 респондентів в тому дослідженні, воно, наскільки я пригадую, було проведене в серпні-вересні минулого року. Отже, лише 14% жителів багатоповерхових будинків висловили бажання взяти участь у держпрограмі. Це мешканці, але не активні стейкхолдери. Це пересічні мешканці. Абсолютна більшість жителів за опитуванням КМІС не готові разом з іншими мешканцями взяти кредит для впровадження заходів, і 54% безумовно не готові це зробити. Тобто це дещо перетинається з показниками нашого опитування в тому, що це стосується труднощів у переконанні мешканців будинків скористатися саме кредитними механізмами. І дякую на цьому. Тут про мене дещо написано.
Thank you for your attention. I would like to remind this was Bogdan Gorobchuk, Communications Manager, Civil Network OPORA.
Добрий день. Мене
Good afternoon, Mykola Pasko, the company producer of dry mixtures. You've seen the presentations. The main idea of condominium is the desire to make the houses warmer. When new houses are built, the issue of making the house warmer is included into the design.
тепла дає можливість врахувати всі нюанси, які існують при такому підході. Фактично, система утеплення
The system of warming
і з використанням пенополістиролу і мінеральної вати. Говорити про ефективність тої чи іншої системи – дуже технічне питання, і вони не на сенсі, не на разі цього брифінгу. Але фактично, в будь-якому разі використання будь-якого утеплювача дуже ефективно. Система скріпленої теплоізоляції дає можливість врахувати для ОСББ всі максимальні нюанси, які існують при будівництві, яке використовувалось по старим стандартам. Це конструктивні елементи, це товщина стіни, яка використовувалася і проєктувалася раніше. Фактично можна підбирати будь-якої товщини утеплювач, але дає багато можливостей для того, щоб враховувати вже застеклені балкони, наявність кондиціонерів, телевізійних антен і будь-які інші елементи. Також дає можливість утеплювати і конструктивні елементи, там колони, утеплювати підвали і враховувати все, що є вже в будинках, які експлуатуються по 10, 15 і 20 років. Основною проблемою для ОСББ є якраз та ситуація, що для керівників ОСББ, для мешканців це дуже складний елемент теплової модернізації, оскільки, як говорили мої вже колеги, там індивідуальний пункт опалення, він чіткий і зрозумілий. Стоїть певний набор механізмів, який дає можливість, скажімо, розподілювати тепло по квартирах рівномірно. Прибори обліку дають можливість все це порахувати. А система утеплення, вона складається з декількох елементів. Тобто це спеціальних клеїв, сітки, декоративних штукатурок, дюбелів. І цей тільки набір цих продуктів, правильне їхнє застосування на стіні дає можливість отримати 1 квадратний метр утеплення. Ви навіть бачили про дослідження, що основною потребою для ОСББ є система утеплення, а фактично кошти використовуються на сьогоднішній день на освітлення, на заміну вікон. Це дуже такий складний процес, і враховуючи досвід інших країн, які вже пройшли ці етапи, ми розуміємо, що після цього, як буде сформований позитивний досвід використання коштів держави на заміну елементів, які входять до теплової модернізації, слідуючим етапом буде використання системи утеплення. Фактично в цьому велику пропагандистську роботу проводять всі виробники, не зважаючи на і українські, і іноземні, які працюють на ринку України. Вони всі діляться досвідом. Для ОСББ фактично потрібно, щоб були сервісні центри, ресурсні центри, які допомагали це зробити на місцях. Вони існують в країні, вони підтримуються різними компаніями, в тому числі надають консультативні елементи по виїзду до ОСББ, проведення енергоаудитів. В цілому система утеплення буде максимально ефективною, коли всі елементи теплової модернізації будинку будуть зроблені разом і правильно. А це, по-перше, інженерія, прибори для обліку тепла і інших енергоресурсів. І, само собою, сама система утеплення конструкції і даху в тому числі.
Я дуже дякую. Я прошу всіх учасників, спікерів брифінгу піднятися на сцену, бо якщо буде
Now, please, all the participants, we have questions for 3 very short questions. If you have questions, please ask them, but introduce yourselves. Head of Association of Multi-Apartment Houses of Kiev. My question is to representative of state agency on expanding the list of banks which could provide loans to condominiums. Can you tell us to which banks we can go? Thank you for your question now. There are 3 banks only in the program, but we are thinking of how to expand the list. We are now developing the criteria.
З цього приводу більше інформації тільки може надати Нацбанк.
Only the National Bank of Ukraine can give you more information.
Ризики саме в ОСББ, тому що ви знаєте, що ситуація з банками зараз дуже нестабільна. Але кінцевого рішення по цим критеріям ще немає. Це питання зараз ще опрацьовується.
Скажіть, будь ласка,
Can some bank come to your agency? Again, now there are 3 banks in the program. We are considering the possible options of defining the criteria.
Поділ на групи Національним банком України. Це банки з державною часткою капіталу, банки з іноземними інвестиціями та інші.
названня банків назвіть.
так критерії.
Ну, я ж вам кажу, що там
Give us the names of the banks. I do not remember all the banks. Now there are 3 banks. 3 banks. I'm sorry. 3 banks. 3 state-owned banks. Ashad Bank, Ukrgazbank, and Ukreximbank. 3 banks which work in this state program.
в державній програмі. З приводу розширення, я ж кажу, це відповідно до критеріїв, які зараз розглядаються.
Тобто ви не исключаєте можливість привлечення частних банків?
Ну, звичайно, що ж кажу. Ну, потім, якщо у вас буде питання, потім переговоримо.
Питання до представника ОПОРи. Ви розповсюдили 3000 анкет.
You distributed 3,000 questionnaires and received 51 back. Why so little? We were disseminating via database and the resource centers for condominiums. We were not calling back people, we were not requesting them to fill in the questionnaires. I believe that some people are too busy. And that's why they did not fill in the questionnaires.
З них там рідко користуються своїми електронними скриньками, хоча часу було достатньо, але я думаю, там, можливо, вони там не помітили, не приділили якоїсь значної уваги. Я думаю,
Це всього 1,5%.
Я розумію, ну, значить, якась частина ОСББ, ви бачили також згідно опитування, які проводили наші колеги попереднього, досить великий відсоток ОСББ, навіть якщо я сказала, що є 10% ОСББ всього, з них об'єктивно активних 7, напевно, по Україні, то 80% ОСББ каже, що вони ніколи все одно не будуть користуватися кредитним механізмом, ну, станом на сьогодні, по даними опитування. Тому теж якась частина ОСББ, напевно, от все, що стосується держпрограми, їм це не цікаво. Якщо б ми давали опитування по, наприклад, програмі співфінансування, яка існує там в Києві, в інших містах, я думаю, відсоток був би набагато вищий, тому що більша частина ОСББ, от за нашими даними, їм все-таки ближче механізм співфінансування. Коли частину коштів вкладають вони, частину коштів вкладає місцевий бюджет. Ну, просто все, щоб не зв'язуватися з кредитами.
Здравствуйте, меня зовут Андрей, тоже инициативная группа ОСББ. И хотелось бы, вот вы просто ответили на мой вопрос, вот о существовании таких программ співфинансування. Да, ну, может быть, какую-то информацию потом вы мне скажете в отдельной беседе. Если, может, кому-то еще интересно это, тогда, может, и сейчас скажу.
Я думаю, що краще це буде поза лаштунками зробити, тому що час добігає кінця. У вас є одне останнє запитання, на жаль, а далі вже...
More question and then you will be able to communicate in the lobby. The question is to representative of OPORA. The results of your questionnaire show the two major reasons which slow down the state program are lack of awareness and very difficult mechanism of getting loans. Did you submit your proposals to the state bodies which should be interested in addressing these issues? State agency and state banks could jointly develop the mechanism that would help address these two issues.
Організація брала участь на всіх.
Our organization participated, was involved at all stages of the program implementation, and tomorrow we are having a joint session with the director of the State Energy Efficiency Agency, and we will discuss the findings in result of our survey. Actually, it's not so difficult to take a loan. This is opinion of our directors of the condominium that it is difficult. Let us allow the speaker to answer. It's not a round table, it's a briefing. If you need more information about the program, let us hold a round table. The program itself is not complicated. The only problem is allocation of the funds for covering the loan, to repay the loan to the bank. Sometimes there is a risk that the loan, for the loan which is designed not for 1 year but 2 years, that the next year there won't be any funds from the state budget to cover the bank expenses. And as an NGO, we cannot advertise this product of the energy efficiency, State Energy Efficiency Agency. There are 208 OSBB 208 condominium which had used this program as for public awareness campaign. It was extremely broad. We organized a lot of roundtables, but please do not say that the public awareness campaign is weak. The growth in the program proves that awareness campaign is sufficient, and the program is not very complicated. You need to select the proper scheme, then apply for the loan to the bank, and then the bank includes you to the register and make a submission to the State Energy Efficiency Agency. At the beginning of this year, these were the difficulties with registration, but within 1-2 months, all the condominia got compensation from the national budget. Thank you very much. But from our experience, I could say that a large-scale public awareness campaign would be also rather expensive, probably equal to the funding provided for your program. Nevertheless, I wish you successes to have more positive examples. Thank you very much for your attention and follow us on the website.